The promotion of research is a significant responsibility of the higher education institutions, without which a research culture on campus cannot be realized. The higher education institutions must be actively engaged through evolving appropriate policies and practices, making adequate resources available, encouraging active research involvement of teachers, students, and scholars in research, financial support and resources of the government agencies, collaboration with research institutions to promote the growth and importance of research. To give the significance of pursuing research, publishing research articles in high-end journals, we have with us Ms. T. Anuradha as an eminent speaker for session 4. Ms. T. Anuradha, Head Department of Commerce at St.Ann's College for Women, is an MCom MPhil with more than 25 years of teaching experience and research experience, both at undergraduate and postgraduate level, including 2 years of teaching IGCSE curriculum in Dubai and Sharjah. Ms. Anuradha was instrumental in bringing several reforms in undergraduate curriculum, introduction of compulsory internship courses, project work and seminar papers, worked as a convener in organizing several research-oriented seminars, conferences at national and international level. Her due contribution to the field of research is seen in her paper presentations and publications in various national and international journals, has taken up many government-funded and minor and major research projects. Apart from this, Ms. Anuradha has contributed to major syllabus designing in several textbooks for reputed universities, co-authored for undergraduate students, and has been the recipient of Best Teacher Award Gratulier from Rotract Wing in 2016. We are indeed pleased to have it with you us today, ma'am. Let us welcome Ms. Anuradha. Over to Anuradha, ma'am.
Yes, very good morning. Am I audible, Santoshi?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. I will start my screen sharing.
Yeah.
The slides are visible, ma'am.
They're visible. Thank you, Aparna. A very warm morning, monsoon session webinar. It's more like a parliament monsoon session during this season of webinars. So a very warm welcome to all the participants. To respected principal, Dr. Sister P. Amrita, IQAC coordinator, Dr. Smita Asthana, my senior colleagues, my mentors, my dear learned participants. It gives me immense pleasure to be part of this national level online FDP on quality enhancement, assessment and accreditation procedures. So moving on, I'm taking up criteria 3. I'm Mrs. Anuradha from the Department of Commerce, so probably my anecdotes would also be related to commerce. And the criteria 3 aspects are on 3 major components: research, innovations, and extension. The where, when, what is what we need to be analyzing before we start. So the why research and not how research, and what is to be initiated, how it is to be initiated, what is the roadmap, the way ahead, and how we need to progress in our contributions to research and innovations in higher education institutions. So this is basically more to do with the metrics on question-wise, because this is more to do with self-grooming of faculty and the institution together. You must have seen already 3 criteria now with regards to criteria 1, 2, and 4, which talks about curriculum designing, it talks about teaching methodologies, and it talks about infrastructure. Criteria 3, though it talks about research specifically, I understand it is more to the grooming of the faculty for academic excellence and even taking the students forward to promote them for higher education or startups or even Am I audible, Santoshi?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So the procedure or the stage-wise explanation of my presentation would more or less look like this. It is a four-stage presentation. First, understanding the agenda of research, the why, to internalize, to reflect, to capture, and to implement. And then to look into the overview of the key indicators, the what to plan and acquire core competencies for academic research and student empowerment, and also to work, sorry, I'm maneuvering with slides. The key indicators discussion on inculcating research culture at higher education institutions, the how, to head start, the small steps, to adhere exclusively to SOPs, that is the standard operating procedures, and the DVV, data verification and whatever are the procedures that are to be taken up, validation procedures by NAAC. The why I am concentrating on these aspects is because as this is a period of a pandemic, most of us might be at home trying to research on what can be done. So before you head start, you need to understand what are the core procedures to be followed and what are the documents that you have to be keeping ready and where you should apply for funding. So if you look at the data templates of the criteria 3, you will understand what should be the procedures to be followed. So the more core concentration would be on adhering to SOPs and the DVV and several others. And finally, the implementation, the roadmap, the way to initiate the setup and promotion. So this is a four-stage wise explanation. So basically, we will look into the agenda for research at higher education institutions, the part one or the stage one, the why research. So the whole concept of higher education research that is introduced by NAAC is more or less to initiate research and inculcate the concept of research among faculty and also to facilitate research funding projects and also to develop a better infrastructure. Faculty and students together for an active research, creation of innovation ecosystems, incubations, IPRs and patents so that uh, we are able to fall in line with the requirements of the society. Faculty research finally would lead to outputs, the rewards or the awards, the publications and its incentives. In turn, since students are being taken along, it would lead them for entrepreneurship because of innovation, the ecosystem that we have created, a skill development, the startups, and the various other extension and collaboration because the criteria talks both about research, innovations as well as extension. It is finally giving back to the society a better society. That is what is the ultimate goal of any economy or any higher education institutions, because that is what we hear that teachers are more or less, in our scriptures, we understand they're more or less equivalent to God, the Vishnu, the Brahma, and several others. So we understand that we are the creators for a better society. This is the first step forward. So that is the agenda of research for higher education. Now, coming to the vision and mission of why research, it is a promotion of research culture, shouldering social responsibility, and serving the community through extension, identifying the social challenges, identifying the issues, finding out solutions to it, and moving forward to make a society for a better living. And the mission, that is the execution, the implementation part, that is apart from the broader vision, that is ultimately an economic development, the mission to take it forward is academic excellence, take qualitative research studies, consultancy and training for both in-house as well as for the industry and the society, contributing to national development, fostering global competencies among students, a value-based, ethical-based society, because the students are the citizens of tomorrow. They are the ones to carry it forward. So this is the basic vision mission. So I'm talking basically about why research in higher education institutions. I'm not dwelling into details of how research is to be done. It's a total different domain. Probably it would take hours of lecturing the research methodology, the statistical tools, and several other dimensions from various departments and domains. So I'm not dwelling into that. I'm only looking into the why aspect of research in higher education institutions, the thrust, and why is it part of the NAAC accreditation process. Now, the whole idea is who are the major stakeholders. So as I was saying, it is more to do with self-grooming. All the while, we've been concentrating on students, curriculum designing. We're talking about student progression. We are talking about student curriculum. We are talking about student teaching, learning, and several others, the infrastructure to provide for a better teaching. But now the whole process is to talk about how a teacher is able to going for academic excellence. So this is enabling faculty research for academic excellence because they are the torchbearers. It also improves their personal growth. It gives them awards and recognitions, and their career continues even after retirement. I consider it as a investment for a lifetime. In fact, I understand it more like an insurance policy for life because research is considered as an insurance policy by the industry because they understand initial investments are to be made in huge sums, but the returns are heavy or the returns are high. So exactly, I can say research is more like a insurance policy for life. This is from part of the purpose why faculty should undertake research. Obviously, when faculty undertakes research, we are meeting students' career aspirations. We are moving by the trend because what we have read years back, and as we do research, we understand what is expected, and then we are meeting students' career aspirations at higher education institutions because they've come for enabling their global competencies. Of course, we have to value add, we have to give value addition, and the ethical values have to be incorporated. Exactly the dream of the present Prime Minister or Kaushal Vikas, entrepreneurship development, skill development, Make in India, Startup India, and the Atmanirbhar Youth. So exactly, I think we are all working towards it, but working in the right direction is more important. All the while, we've been focusing on their classroom teaching, but we are also going to provide them with the value-based life skills, which is required for them to venture into the society tomorrow. And ultimately, the student and the faculty community put together will be able to embark on the journey to giving back to the society. That is, the industry and society is also having expectations from higher education institutions, that is giving back to the society. The industry is expecting academic partnership because they wanted students employable in such a way. They want to groom students who can be employed. They're also looking for collaborations. It is only we who have to be in search of who is interested to collaborate with us. They're also interested in research funding because they have established labs. They want research scientists or faculty who are with intellectual property rights, patents, economic growth, and finally the development. This is the mission that is exactly what or the vision that is to be accomplished by higher education institutions. These are the three basic stakeholders. Then coming to the importance of research at higher education, it's exactly what the rediscussed academic excellence. The quality of research work directly translates to the quality of teaching and learning in the classrooms. It benefits us because we are able to translate it we're taking it forward to the classroom, benefiting the students, the society, and the country. The promotion of research will transform the nation into a better place. Development of a proactive research ecosystem. This is very much needed. So small steps from our end and the students taking it forward, the industry is ready to come forward. So this will add to the stock of the global knowledge and is a source of new ideas, techniques, innovation, and methods across a wide range of disciplinary areas. So this is what we call it as a proactive research ecosystem. Apart from that, the innovation ecosystem for economic development is the need of the day. Everybody is looking towards innovation, and today what we are performing presently is also an innovation, the recent launch of the GeoMeet and several others. So probably the challenges are converted to opportunities. So today's economies are mainly driven by technology and innovation, and a research intensive college and university education system is the only way to further this progression. So this is exactly what I understand from the metrics that have the metrics that are being asked to be evaluated and assessed. So this is the way forward. That is, the faculty, the students, and the industry have to work together, and probably they will make a better society. That is exactly what we aim at, and this is what we see the world around. In India, the thrust has to be more. the little experience that I had acquired, research is given a pivotal importance in the rest of the world. Okay, now coming to the fostering a positive research culture at higher education institutions. So there are several approaches. I'm talking in small steps, the way I understood from the metrics, to move forward, increasing research productivity. The first is we need to identify the challenges. So it is not easy. So that has to be done at different levels, at an institutional level, an individual level, an infrastructure level. So thorough feedback has to be taken from all stakeholders, a formal or informal, for an outcome-based research. So since our focus is research, which will translate it into innovation and definitely giving back to the society, we have to perform some feedback, some activity to identify the challenges. Probably we'll be able to customize our research culture. So what is better for St.Ann's College, because it's an autonomous aided college, may not be suitable for others. We are in the heart of the city of Hyderabad, a bustling capital, and with the kind of students that we get, may not be the same culture, may not be present in every place. So depending upon the challenges, probably taking the feedback, and that is the way we can take it forward. Motivation, yes, motivating teachers, that can happen only by explaining the why and how it will increase their uh, personal grooming, personal growth, and how their career path can be improved, and how it can be, as I was saying, how teachers have life beyond their even their tenure. Now, creating a research infrastructure facilities, the right environment, growing, creating a fund base in-house or outside the college, developing policies, code of research ethics, the guidance and the training, and nurturing, that is encouraging research publication, fellowships, research projects, and the rewarding. Obviously, definitely it has to be recognized on special days, occasions, promotions, and recommendations. This has to be taken up by the institution at a different level. So this is the why of why research. So this is basically with regards to an economic development. Now, coming to the distribution, that is part two, the what, I will go through an overview quickly and then, if possible, into the question wise. So this is distribution of weightages across key indicators. The part two, that is the what. So what is discussed here is the overview of the KIs, the common KIs of autonomous and affiliated constituent colleges, allocation of marks. And I have identified there are few which are not applicable to affiliated colleges, and I've taken up the autonomous colleges criteria base, and then try to identify what is more important. There are two parts to this criteria, that is research innovations, and then finally extension, which will be taken up by my more professional colleague in this aspect of extension in the subsequent session. Now, coming to the distribution of weightages, as I was narrating, this is more to do with autonomous colleges. The total credits are close to 150 in autonomous colleges. But when it comes to research, it is 80. So 80 by 150 is the 80 by 150 is the weightage for research. I took only the research and the innovation component. Coming to affiliated and constituent, because they are in a restricted environment, I guess the makers of NAAC also have identified for affiliated with only UG with not much of scope, they have identified that 30 would do. So that is two, that is resources mobilization for research, and then publications, which is possible for anybody in any environment. So these are the two major aspects which I would be dealing. And if it is a PG college, there is another dimension to it, the innovation ecosystem. So coming to what we are discussing at the moment, I'm taking the research component, 80 for autonomous out of 150, 30 for affiliated, 40 for PG colleges. Now, this is the five indicators which I will be touching upon briefly. So this is the breakup. So the first one is promotion of research facilities. The other is resource mobilization, that is facilities, mobilization, innovation ecosystem, publications, and consultancy. Coming to the third aspect, the how. So that was an overview of the weightages. Now coming to the key indicators, the third aspect, I would be getting into details of the metrics question-wise. So the whole point you need to understand, affiliated colleges, it is 30, with PG it is 40, and with regards to autonomous colleges, it is 80. So why I'm going question-wise, probably my slides are cluttered with all the details. with what are the data requirements, documents to be uploaded, the SOP and the DVV, that is validation for verification purposes. Because from these are the times when most of you would be planning to go in for research. So I thought you should be careful in going through what is important and then start off. Okay, so it's inculcating and promoting a research culture. That is what is expected. The how, that is how we are going to start. So, but we need to, vis-a-vis, be adhering to what is required to be uploaded. So that is more important at this stage. So promotion of research and research facilities. It's a 20-mark metric, and it is exclusively for applicable to autonomous colleges. So it seeks details on institutional research facilities, seed money, and doctoral fellowships. So these are three major components. So you can see I just identified there are some colleges which have got real, is a pharmaceutical college where they have geotagged their research facility. It is a very vibrant, this is what I could gather. So I was identified this as a very correct, appropriate slide for this. So this is a 20-mark metric. Now, moving on to what is asked in this, it is the research facilities, which is not applicable for affiliated and constituent. The research facilities 6 marks, seed money 8, and research awards, that is teachers fellowship awards by any national or international bodies. So the total weightage here is 20. Now, coming to the key indicator, which is talking about the research facilities, it is a qualitative metric, and a description of not more than 500 words have to be uploaded. And obviously, when it is talking about facilities, we are talking about a policy and a promotion activity. So it, and the indicator also asks for a specific policy document. So a centralized research cell should be constituted in a college like ours, an autonomous. We have a cell called SACRED, SACRED, which is St.Ann's College Research and Development Cell. So it conducts frequent meetings. They have policy documents, the minutes, and several other related documents that have to be uploaded. And in case you have several other allied research cells, all their minutes of the promotion policy, their implementation, the geotag photos of the facilities, all have to be uploaded. The SOP, that is standard operating procedure, this is very important. As it says, you should give that links which should take you directly to that web page and not to the home page of the site of the college. So this should be avoided. So these are the initializing. In case you have to initialize, the first thing is you should have a research cell, and there should be members from either both internal, external, and they should draft a policy framework constituting everything, the research proposals to be accepted, the grants, their 5P leaves, the ethics, the plagiarism, and conduct review meetings and policy documents and minutes. This will be ready. If there is a cell to take care of all the details, it can be uploaded as and when required. Coming to the next one, it is the seed money. So the data template is provided by the NAAC site itself. So there's not much to worry. It absolutely connects you to what all needs to be uploaded. The details are given very clearly. So we can be, I come back. So the revised autonomous template has taken us to that data template. So what all are required there? The 5-year data, the compilation of which has to be uploaded. So any additional budgets, utilization certificates, everything that is required, the name, the amount, the year of receiving grant and duration, everything has to be mentioned. And the formula for applying to identify the value that you arrive at, it is the total amount of seed money divided by 5 years. And that will give you an average as to how much has been received per year. And the standard operating procedures, it is similar to the data requirement, but you have to strictly adhere to what has to be uploaded and not give unnecessary details. So the college can initiate calling for research proposals and grant FIPs and seed money. It can have in-house research facilities and seed money funding to teachers. So that kind of procedures can be followed in the college, apart from mobilizing funds from outside. This is the institutional seed money that has to be provided. So this is exclusively which is provided by the college. Then coming to the next slide. The third indicator is again with regards to teachers awarded with national and international fellowships. Again, it is an average of the last 5 years with regards to the total number of teachers in the college in the last 5 years. So it is identifying to what extent or what percentage the teachers are awarded international or national fellowships. So all the details pertaining to the 5 years, again, there is a data template. These have to be uploaded, the e-copies of the awards. And if the data is too large, sample copies or at a later time of DVV verification, they might ask you for specific faculty details. So a thorough understanding of what should be kept ready is important. Now coming to resource mobilization for research, it is talking about, this is applicable to all affiliated as well as constituent colleges. It's a 10 marks metric. It is seeking details of research projects granted, research projects received, amount received, percentage of projects received, research guides, and then percentage of departments with grants to the total. So these are the metrics. So it is totally 10 divided into 2, 2, 3, 3 for all across all colleges. So this is grants received and teachers with projects and teachers recognized as research guides and the departments which have received the funding. So again, the procedures are similar, but mind you, there's an alert that we need to be very careful with what all needs to be uploaded. The SOP has to be monitored, and what data templates ask us, all these should be kept ready because at any time verification, you should be able to upload. So for this, I identified there are some resources where it is show.net. It gives you all the details of government, non-government, and several other funding agencies. So this is a whole database. Fortunately, it is created by the Government of India with all the details, including what kind of funding can be got, what publications you can go in for, everything. It's a very easy available data for everybody, not just for government or any other aided colleges. So these are the details which you can gather. So it is asking for the research projects endowments in the institution in the last 5 years. Coming to the next one, it is percentage of teachers. That was earlier was the total amounts that was received. This is percentage of teachers. So the number of teachers who are awarded with the projects divided by the total number of teachers at any given time. So all the details have to be ready. That is sanction letters, details of source of funding, period of grant, and all the data with relating to UGC norms have to be kept ready. So recognized research bodies only have to be identified. So be careful with where you're going for funding, and you should be able to authenticate the funds that you have received. So this is with regards to metric 2, and this is applicable to anybody. Anybody can apply for grant of funds. Now coming to the research guides. Now this is with regards to if the faculty are doctorates, they can apply for research guideship, and the college can initiate this to the research cell, apply to parent university for recognition of their department so that they can start enabling research. So this can be done at an institutional level, and individually also teachers can apply. This is asking for teachers recognized divided by the full-time teachers in a given period of 5 years. Okay, so this is with regards to point 3 of the second metric. Now coming to the last metric here, it is talking about the research projects funded by government and non-government. The earlier one was non-government or any research funding. In metric 3.1, we had seen institutional funding. Then we had seen other outside funding. Now this is government and government funding specifically, and other non-government agencies with regards to any specific research that they undertake. So there are several bodies here, and this is asking for a specific data template. So the details as the duration, the name, the research project, funds, etc. have to be uploaded. And the metrics, the details of what you gave in 3.2.1 and 3.2.2, both together should match with this metric. Now coming to the initialization, the research cell shall act as a nodal center and can have details of all the government bodies and other non-government bodies, and can help their faculty to apply for research funding. Now coming to the third metric, it is innovation ecosystem. So as I said, it is involving all stakeholders. It's a support system. It's an environment wherein there are different cells. It is the institution, the education bodies, the business, and the various cells that you create, and the tie-ups, the MOUs, the regulations, the law, and several others together form an ecosystem. We cannot live in isolation for a betterment of our research. And this is only for autonomous and affiliated colleges. There are two questions here. It is asking for what cells you have and what are the workshops that are being conducted. So this is totally 10, but if you have a PG college, it should go for the ecosystem as well. So this is 3.3.1. It is talking about uh, what are the various innovation systems that you have created in the college, the cells, the incubation, the community orientation, the research, entrepreneurship, etc. So it is a qualitative metric, so you have to describe in 500 words, and the relevant documents have to be uploaded authenticating that you have these dedicated centers. Each center should have an agenda. Now coming to the next one, which is 3.3.2, which is talking about any IPR, ED, and skill development workshops that are conducted. So obviously, when you have cells, they work in the direction. So in the last 5 years, what all has been done, that has to be tabulated, the given template, and the documents uploaded from to the date of where you have been performing. And all should adhere to the SOP, and not every other activity by mere title of IPR can be denoted. So you have a detailed plan and you can work with MOU with various skill development councils. There's so much going on in the market, the industry and the government. So this is about 3.3.2. Now coming to research publications and awards, this is with regards to publications, books author, PhD registered, and then institutional incentives, bibliometrics, Citation Index, and the PubMed. And here there are several questions. Some are exclusively for autonomous colleges. There is some overlapping, some common, and some are not applicable. So the weightage here is 30, 20, and 20 for affiliated and PG colleges. So it is implementation of code of ethics. We have initiated research. Now value addition and ethical and plagiarism check are what is important. And then how many have registered for PhD? And then what are the publications, that is the output, the books and the chapters, and the bibliometrics. What is the impact that has been done by an author on the society, or the citation index of the author's publication in several journals. Now coming to 3.4.1. So this is implementation of code of ethics. So the research cell, which is already instituted, should have an advisory committee, should have a check of all the publications, or should whatever projects, seed money, whatever has been funded by the college, they have at the time of submission, they have to check for the ethics and the plagiarism check, and they should issue a project completion certificate and then ask them for a publication. So if this is practiced at in-house, obviously it can be translated at every other stage. So all the documents with regards to it have to be uploaded onto the website. Coming to 3.4.2, it is with regards to how many are registered. So it is the number of PhD registered per teacher. So it is the number of registrations in the last 5 years divided by the number of teachers as a recognized guides during the last 5 years. So if you the recognized guides in the college add to the number of registered teachers will give you the metric. The details have to be uploaded. The links have to be put up on the website. So it should directly lead you to the link and not to various other pages. So the college can provide some incentives to the faculty through promotion, monetary benefit, FIPs, giving them less workload, and several other incentives so that teachers register themselves for PhD. Now coming to 3.4.3, that is the UGC journal publications. So it is advisable, this is what I was mentioning, if faculty are planning to go in for publications, it is better to go through this metric thoroughly because it is specifically talking about UGC specified or the K journals. So there are links given to this website. There are thousands of journals. So it is always better to publish journals, publish your papers in recognized journals. So again, it is asking for the detailed template. There's a data template for that. There's a formula application, the number of publications by notified journals divided by average full-time teachers. That gives you the percentage of how many have been publishing on an average. So again, the motivation, the encouragement should be provided by the college. Now coming to the edited volumes and the books published, that is in seminar edited volumes and the books published. So again, it is similar to the previous data template. It is asking for details, and all the ISBN and ISSN numbers of the years have to be provided. And again, the total number of books and chapters divided by the average number of full-time teachers in the last 5 years. So the best way to encourage is to recognize them on special days like Teachers' Day, or have a specific research day where the teachers can be recognized, awarded, and certificates and some promotions, monetary benefits can be given. Finally, we are into the citation index. So definitely the research should have an outcome. It should be a value addition. And again, finally, it has to translate to the society. So the citation index, there are many citation index. There is a computation procedure. So InflibNet has the procedures of how to compute. The data template has given you the formula. So the last 5 years has to be calculated in this format. And then the details have to be uploaded. The publications should be only in recognized journals. So that is more important. Coming to the next one, it is citation index. The earlier one was H index, and the other is citation publications in other. Okay, now coming to the consultancy, the last one, applicable only to autonomous colleges. It is talking about the amount spent on training versus the revenue generated. So it is only for autonomous colleges. So it is not applicable for the others. So it is about the revenue generated and the amount spent versus the amount spent. So these are what is asked for. So how much is the college spending for training the faculty, projects, sponsoring agency? What is the revenue generated? So the data is audited statements, and the requirement are the revenue generation. So this can happen only with MOUs with various industry, and there are industry institutions which are ready to accept some collaboration and also promote consultancy. And this is the amount spent on developing facilities, training faculty and staff for undertaking consultancy. So this is the earlier one was revenue generation, and this is with regards to the amount spent for facilities. A similar data template will work. Now, coming to the road ahead, the fourth stage of the setup and promotion, as I was narrating metric-wise, but I have just summed up. First, you need to identify challenges. Then you have to establish a dedicated research cell, and it can have department-wise and have a policy framework. Then have research awards, research-based awards for quality publications, recognize them, encourage applying for research projects, have a repository of the details, and give incentives. And then have allied activities of research productivity. So that is training in research methodology, looking for funding bodies, multidisciplinary research, student faculty research, and again translated to IPR, patents, skill development, so that students, as students are actively involved, it can happen. Then faculty registering for PhD should be encouraged by giving them the incentives, the monetary benefit, reduced workload, etc. Finally, the responsibility of faculty lies in value-based research. So that is what we should concentrate. Then authoring of books, acquiring IPR, generating revenue, motivating faculty. The research cell can do that. And how it is to be motivated, it depends upon the restrictions or the challenges that you face. Industry tie-ups are important. And you can provide consulting services in respective subject areas. So this is what I identified: income tax, GST, and SME accounting, involving students, facilitating outstanding students with opportunities for advanced learning, and so on and so forth, so that they can promote startup ventures, etc. And endless opportunities. And the bibliometrics, this is a quick understanding of what it is. The number of times a paper is cited, and it is the number of papers and the impact, that is the number of citations, both together in one paper. So the number of papers plus the citations. So it is a metric which will identify in one number both the details, the productivity as well as the citation. That is number of papers and the impact, that is the citation at other places. That's it. So this is with regards to citation index and Science and Scopus and PubMed. Now, these are certain sites which I would recommend. So there are enough details with regards to before and after, that is before you start off. for your research journals, your project funding, the computation of metrics, please visit these sites so that they help you to get a scholarly understanding of what should be done. So that is what I could give, and a big thank you for your patient listening. So together we can build a better society is what I feel is the message that we need to deliver. Thank you all. Now it's time to reflect. So I will stop presenting. So let me hear from.
Thank you, ma'am. The queries from the participants will be taken at the end of the next session. That is after.
Thank you.
The onset and most happening in every higher education institution is research. Every teacher to be associated with teaching, it is mandatory to be abreast of current knowledge and to pursue higher education henceforth. I thank Anuradha ma'am for being very instrumental in elaborating the importance of research in her presentation. Thank you once again, ma'am.